Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Milholland, help me out here. I'm just trying to educate myself. What's the timeline between when an employee leaves the IRS and when their hard drive is erased?
Yeah, that timeline can vary from immediate to 6 months.
What determines that? What determines the variation?
Where the person is when they leave. For example, if you're
in what hallway they're in?
Almost what office they're in. For example, the equipment if it's picked up by IT, has to be shipped to another location. But if you're in the D.C. area, for example, it might happen very quickly and such. Well, we typically send these devices to a particular data center for the degaussing once we separate the hard drive from the rest of the PC.
When was Mr. Maruka's hard drive erased? What day?
We know. Would you cover that? The
Sure.
Deputy Commissioner can answer the details. But
Well, we don't know the date, and I think that's what the problem is. We know we sent it or consolidated on August 5th. We picked it up from the manager. We consolidated with other hard drives and other laptops, and we sent it to our Memphis facility. It arrived in
Now, where was Mr. Maruka? Because you said Mr. Milholland did it depending on what office he was in. Which office was Mr. Maruka in?
Go ahead.
he was in D.C. as I
He was in
understand
D.C., but so you just said if he's in D.C., it ought to be pretty quick.
It could be, depending again on the process being followed and the staff that we have to do that work. If there was an intent that we say, hey, we could reuse this device very quickly, then at that point we'd separate the hard drive from the rest of the platform and put a new hard drive in. And
But in the case of Mr. Maruka, you don't know what day it was destroyed?
No, sir. It was sent down to the Memphis facility, and it was stored down there with other laptops and other computers that were marked for disposal.
Okay, so where it was sent down to, do they have a record of it? Can you call them and find out? I mean, surely they keep a record to tell you, okay, we destroyed this hard drive this day, this one this day?
No, sir. What we keep a record of is the asset. Once we separate the hard drive from the rest of the computer is sent off for salvage by an outside contractor.
Okay, I'm not worried about the rest of the computer.
Yeah,
I'm worried about what gets erased. It would just occur to me, or it would appear to me that you would have a day on there, but somebody would keep a day that said that this is the day it was erased.
Not necessarily, sir, because we don't view it as a major asset at that point. It's disposition. We have flagged it for destruction. It's sent into the system. Okay. Do
you ever consider it to be an asset, an important asset?
Once it's flagged for disposition to be destroyed, no.
Okay, and this is even after we've had the experience with Miss Lerner and with her hard drive being destroyed and being wiped out. Even after that, we still don't have in place when exactly we destroyed it. We still don't know. So you're telling me that's a matter of policy?
It's a matter of the workload and the resources we have to do that task.
The workload and the resources.
That's sir.
So everything is determined by the workload and the resources, not by its importance.
Well, the importance is that we had already decided that this particular drive could be, in fact, be destroyed. At that point, it's deemed worthless. So it's stacked up with other hard drives.
I just find it to be a very poor excuse about resources. I mean, it would seem to me like that you would have been really on your toes, especially in light of what has happened in the past. It would seem to me that you would want to absolutely know when a hard drive was destroyed or wiped out. I mean, you see where I'm going here. I'm just getting the impression from where I'm sitting, it looks like the IRS is just taking the attitude, hey, we're above the law here. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, and I can imagine what it looks like to a regular citizen who is being audited by the IRS. It is really confounding to me that we don't keep better records than this. It would appear to me that the IRS, in light of everything that has happened in the way of hard drives being wiped out, that your policy would be better and that you would be keeping better records. And so you can understand why the general public thinks, well, they think they're above the law here. I'm just flabbergasted by this. Mr. Chairman, I don't know what to say except that I hope that you will take this as a lesson to understand that, you know, there are people out there who are being audited by the IRS who feel like they're being targeted, feel like they're being treated unfairly, and feel like the IRS thinks they're above the law. So in instances like this, you can understand why they feel that way. This is unacceptable. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank the gentleman.